Hi everyone, my name is Roberto Contreras. I'm 64 years old. I'm the mayor of San Pedro Sula, beautiful city in Central America, our country Honduras, and married since 37 years ago. And I have four beautiful daughters and son in my house. I'm an entrepreneur, but as well, I'm a politician.
Yeah. Fergus Hodgson here, publisher of the Impunity Observer. So pleased to be here with the alcalde or mayor of San Pedro Sula. And he, as he mentioned, he is an entrepreneur. He built a franchise of restaurants that have been successful, now run by his family. I met him last night at a campaign march with the Liberal Party here in Honduras. This is a very intense time in the campaign or electoral period, facing the general elections later this year. Now, what particularly interests me is how the sub-jurisdictions, the states and cities, can innovate to help or enable Honduras' development. I came here more than 10 years ago to explore the ZEDAs, these model cities approach, which are basically dead now, unfortunately. Whether you like those or not, they were an attempt to bring innovation. Now, my chief question... we've got so many topics to cover here today, but my chief question for Roberto is, what relationship do you have with the central government? Because you've mentioned off camera that a great deal of the government funds or spending goes through Tegucigalpa rather than San Pedro Sula, and little that comes here. So there are two things here. One, you might say in your nature of governance, and then in the funding. What is your relationship with the central government, with the capital in Tegucigalpa?
Well, Fergus, I may say almost none, because I'm from the Liberal Party,
yes,
okay, and they are from Libertad y Refundación,
yes,
what is a communist party. We don't have the same ideology, I may say.
Okay? Sure.
And then one of the worst things that we have between this very weak relation and almost non-relation is that we don't get any support.
Sure.
From central government, because I must say political jealous, okay? Because if Roberto Contreras is building a huge city, we're talking, it's not that huge. This is a 1 million person population, okay? It's not that big. But if we do a great government, they are not like, they're not gonna have a power in this part of the country. So now, they are not sending money from the budget, the government budget, to San Pedro Sula. But anyway, we have a budget like 125 million US yearly.
Okay.
And we're working with that.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what I was getting to, that there seems to be a power arm wrestle a little bit between the two major cities. Now, for people who are not so familiar with Honduras, we have the capital in Tegucigalpa, which is about maybe a 5-hour drive south of here. And we have the industrial city of San Pedro Sula, which is closer to the port, to the Atlantic ports, and closer to the agricultural production. And now, there's a challenge here right now that many of the laborers have left, right? The young men have left for the United States. This is not exactly news to listeners. And I was just out a couple of days ago exploring this near the Yohoa region. And also investors may be looking to El Salvador, which is really leading the way in terms of attracting foreign capital. Now, are there lessons both for the central government and for the province of Cortes and for San Pedro Sula from what is going on in El Salvador? Now, just for full transparency, we've published at the Impunity Observer a critique of the re-election process. Of course, there is no re-election in the Salvadoran Constitution, so there's a problem there with the legality of Bukele's presidency. But we're going to put that aside for right now and just discuss, let's say, the policy innovations that people can learn from. I would like to announce my latest book, The Latin America Red Pill, My Search for Freedom South of the Border, available in Spanish as La Píldora Roja de América Latina. This book distills 15 years of exploration and analysis and is part autobiography. If you want to get past political correctness to understand the reality on the ground, read the Latin America Red Pill. You will learn how to survive the law of the jungle, when a move to Latin America makes sense, the key to entrepreneurial success in the region, what Latin America needs to achieve development, and a whole lot more. Go to Amazon.com or click the link below to get your copy. Thank you.
Well, actually, when you talk about our young people
Yes.
going in caravans to
Yes.
United States, we're talking about like 6,000 people leaving the country every month.
Okay.
And right now there's another place, Spain,
Sure.
that many people are living. Young people, they're not finding the right opportunities because government is not creating these opportunities.
Yeah.
So now they're trying to find these chances in another country like United States, Mexico, or Spain at this time. So that's part of the fail on this government and the government before.
It really breaks my heart to see this because often these are the most ambitious and the hardest working people of Honduras who are leaving. It really hollows out the country and it's a permanent loss. Now, are there ways to both lead people to not leave, attract them home, and then I guess in addition you would say bring the capital that would really make the opportunity here attractive?
Well, one of the things that we have to do is how to evaluate the government. And I find something very simple. With the happiness of the people and the wish to come back from the people who left the country and now live in the state in a different way.
Yeah.
Okay? But right here in Honduras, not many people is happy. And the people living in the state, they don't want to come back.
Right.
So that's part of the problem that we have.
Yeah.
And now we're getting like between 60 to 80,000 compatriots, I don't know how do that say that in English.
Deported?
Deported from the state.
Yeah.
And you know something? That's a high cost, a lot of money for the state. Because
Yes, absolutely.
For every single people deported from the state, that costs about $15,000 to $20,000
Easily.
per person.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
now, if you multiply that for 80,000, we're talking roughly about 160 million US.
Sure.
How about if they bring some factories to Honduras? How about if they invest in like a technical institute and we build our own country without leaving our people flying or going like water factors?
Well, the truth is too, I mean, the big challenge is that the disparity in compensation is huge. So you would need a big, big change.
Right.
However, at the same time, people prefer to enjoy their family life, to have their community, right? So if there were comparable compensation available, they would stay.
Okay, and money from remesas, how do you say
Remittances?
that?
Remittances, yeah.
It's like bloody money.
Blood money?
Yeah, bloody money, because what's the price we have to pay? Because one father left home and left 4 or 5 children living
Yes.
with mom,
Yeah.
and I will be sending money to my family, okay? Maybe they recall that for like first year, maybe second year. But after 3 years, they're not sending any money. But now, who's going to be working for some opportunities for these children? Now gangers go and pick them up.
Narcos?
No, I mean the
Ganger?
gangers pick them up in the neighborhood because no one is taking care of the family.
Okay.
Mom has to go to work,
Sure.
okay? And now who's taking care of the 5 children? So they're sending money.
You're breaking families.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like
It's obviously more men who leave. The women will stay. Yeah.
yeah, that's right. So I might say right now we're exporting a lot of coffee, but we're getting more money from remittances than the coffee
Yeah.
that we export.
Yeah. No, the remesas or remittances are so powerful here in Honduras.
$10 billion.
It's about 1/3, or depending how you calculate, you could say 1/4 of the economy, which is huge. You go to Tegucigalpa and see these fancy malls, and you think, how are people paying for this? It's with remesas or remittances. Now, but it has a profound cultural impact. When we were out near Yohoa, the local gentleman, businessman there, was saying that he hires mostly women because all the men have gone, right? Mm-hmm. So it is, like you said, it is blood money. But what I really want to learn from you is what can be done about this, right? So what are the innovations, right? Do you have much authority when it comes to things like justice or law enforcement?
Well, this is something really weird, and I have like a master degree speaking about this, on this topic.
Okay.
Because I went to school with no shoes.
No shoes.
Yeah, so I live like in poor areas of the city.
Yes.
But I never went to work to the state.
Sure.
I never left my country. Now, what I can tell you is that we have opportunities in our countries, okay? Because I don't believe in the American dream. I believe in the San Pedrano dream. Because over here in San Pedro Sula, there are many people growing from zero to be like entrepreneurs.
Tough people.
It's a matter of thing that where's the poverty? In your pocket or in your brain?
Sure.
Many people think it's in the pocket. But I found out poverty is in my brain. It's the way I think. So I refuse to live in the same way my parents lived. And I started working. And I know that this is the place where you can build a dream and accomplish a goal.
Well, it is true that people have become wealthy here. I've met Yusuf Hamdani, a very successful entrepreneur from Pakistan who came here 30-odd years ago and has done incredibly well.
Right.
So there are case studies of people who have shown you can build success here. So first you would just say you want to promote a culture of discipline, entrepreneurship, and not one of dependence.
Right. It's like an archetype.
Yes, sure.
Being an entrepreneur is like an archetype. So I'm a politician, but I'm an entrepreneur as well. So you see me like a point of beginning. When we talk with them about technical education, for example, what do this youth need from our politician? It's like to build a better future for them? Answer is no. What they need is the tools, okay? The tools to build by their own future, by their own.
But what is that? Because that's what I'm trying to get from you, Roberto. So right now it is the case that Honduras is a poorer country, and I often quote what was called La Gringo from La Gringa's Logosito, an American lady who came here, and she said that she would say coming to Honduras for work is like going to the Sahara for water. And but in your role, I mean, it's great to say, yes, show hard work, be disciplined, take initiative. But you mentioned before that there's a lot going on in El Salvador that is shaking things up. And what is that shaking up? What are you referring to that can change, let's say, the approach to governance in Central America?
Well, in my opinion, Nayib Bukele is such a great president, very smart. But now he's dealing with one of the biggest problems he has, is how to raise the economy in San Salvador. So I'm thinking that this model, San Salvador, is going to be like subject of many, many economical studies.
Sure.
Because we have to find out how the crime, how the extortion, how drug dealers get into the economy and make it huge and raise. Because right now, San Salvador is peacefully, but you go to the malls and you go to check the salary, it's about $350.
Yeah.
The economy is very slow. So what's going on in El Salvador? Crimes are in jail, but money is not in the banks. I mean, it's not flowing the money like in San Pedro Sula. Something weird, but I know many people have to study about it.
So basically you're saying that El Salvador is changing, but it's very hard to understand what exactly is going on or causing this, aside from a very, let's say, disruptive and determined president.
Right. That's what I think. So he's doing a great job. But as Honduran, as being like a politician from Honduras, we want to learn from them, right? But we have different challenge right here in Honduras. But for the time being, I think we're doing okay in San Pedro Sula. But I don't know how you're going to give a country to the people who have never managed a business ever in his life to someone without experience about dealing with money, about taking care of a budget, taking care of education. So we're not taking the right way about voting for the right people in Honduras.
Sure. And if you feel more comfortable, you can respond in Spanish. We have a very bilingual audience. But the one topic that has interested me, as I said, is the devolution or decentralization of a country. It is not healthy that the vast majority of public funds go through the hands of Tegucigalpa before going to the cities or states. Now, we are in Cortes state within Honduras, and from memory, there are 12 states. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And this is by far the most productive or industrialized state. There is also the Roatan or Bay Islands, which would be culturally distinct from the country, and that has a great deal of tourism and is much more, let's say, luxurious. But what initiatives are there to generate more autonomy, more independence for Cortes and perhaps the Bay Islands or Roatan from the central government? Are there ways, for example, to have more authority over law enforcement, tax collection, many international trade? I mean, I hear the ports are clogged up. What authority could you take to address those problems on a more local level?
Yeah, we're talking now about decentralization, right?
Yes.
Okay, budget decentralization. You know what? Why that is not happening?
Tell me.
Corruption.
Sure.
Okay. Aquí estamos hablando de
Sí.
corrupción porque todos los contratos y todo lo que son licitaciones se hacen en Tegucigalpa para mantener una clase política que recibe muchas coimas y muchos sobornos de todos estos contratos. Pero si se descentralizan por municipalidades, ¿qué es lo que sucede? Ya el crédito político se lo lleva el alcalde.
Claro.
¿Ok? Y si el crédito político se lo lleva el alcalde, tú estás prácticamente fortaleciendo un alcalde que no pertenece a tu partido. Y en filosofías e ideologías comunistas absurdas, eso no se permite.
Yeah.
Porque el único que tiene que brillar es el burro del sombrero o el que está en el gobierno. Y si el alcalde hace las cosas bien, entonces más bien a este hay que cortarle los presupuestos. No hay que darle ningún ingreso. Ese es parte del problema que yo miro, el celo político, porque nuestras escuelas son centros de votación, ¿ok? Yes. Pero si tú ves a nuestras escuelas, se están cayendo a pedazos. ¿Cada cuánto un político se acuerda de una escuela? Bueno, cada 4 años que vienen las elecciones. Pero luego que sale electo se olvida de que hay niños que necesitan una biblioteca, una computadora, mejorar el cielo falso, mejorar esto, y no lo hacen. Entonces, el gobierno municipalista es definitivamente la solución para todos los problemas que tiene el país. Pero Nayib Bukele hizo algo muy importante, y eso yo lo aplaudo, que de casi 200 municipios que existían en El Salvador,
sí,
los redujo a 47 o a 60 aproximadamente. Nosotros tenemos 298 municipios y algunas alcaldías solo alcanzan con los ingresos a pagar una planilla. Y en un solo departamento empobrecido tenemos 28 municipalidades.
Yeah.
¿Tú te imaginas lo que es eso? Alimentar 28 municipalidades en un departamento que no genera absolutamente nada. Entonces estás manteniendo una clase política que solo es carga para el país.
Sí, pero mira, hay un movimiento ordenado para fomentar, descentralizar.
Sí, claro.
Sí.
Sí. Voluntad. La palabra es voluntad. Sí se puede hacer, sí se puede. Lo hizo El Salvador y aquí se tomó un modelo de España sobre municipalismo, que es descentralización de presupuestos. Porque ¿quién es el que realmente sabe cuál es el problema de una ciudad? El alcalde. Es el que sabe. ¿Y quién sabe los problemas de un vecindario? Bueno, el ciudadano que vive en ese vecindario. Por tal razón, la presidenta, que está encerrada allá y que nunca viene acá, no va a saber absolutamente nada que está pasando en San Pedro.
Y mire, ¿quieres comentar cómo es distinta la cultura aquí que de Tegucigalpa?
Sí, claro. Es una cultura totalmente distinta, totalmente distinta. El gobierno ha convertido la población de Tegucigalpa en una población paternalista.
Claro.
Porque de los 230,000 empleados públicos que tiene el gobierno, y para tener una idea de cuántos son 230,000 empleados, usted necesitaría por lo menos 400 buses para poder llevarlos al trabajo. 400 buses. Ahí caben 230,000 empleados. Esos 230,000 empleados a nivel nacional son 200,000 empleos en Tegucigalpa. Lo cual quiere decir que la economía de Tegucigalpa se sostiene de los impuestos que pagamos los demás departamentos.
Obvio. Sí.
Y ellos nos generan esa carga a nosotros. San Pedro Sula es una economía totalmente distinta. Es una economía próspera, pero es una economía de emprendedores. Porque si tú te fijas aquí a las 5 de la mañana ya el tráfico es fuerte, ya la gente está moviéndose a los mercados, al trabajo y todo. Tegucigalpa son las 8 de la mañana y todavía están dormidos los políticos. Entonces, como no tenemos ese soporte de ingresos del gobierno a nosotros, entonces nosotros nos hemos convertido en personas resilientes, que no esperamos que el gobierno haga algo por nosotros, sino que nosotros lo hacemos por nosotros mismos.
We've been very fortunate to speak with the mayor of San Pedro Sula, Roberto Contreras, and I want to say that I've been to San Pedro Sula many times, and I would love to see this city continue its development. And I do admire or respect the culture of entrepreneurship, of just resilience that is here. So I'm glad that we have a man, speaking out in favor of that or defending that. And it is a difficult time. It's a precarious time because the central government here is seeking to reinforce its hold over the country. So we'll leave it there. Now, are you active on any social media platform, or where should people follow you?
Well, we're active on all social medias.
Yeah.
And we have many followers and TikTok, Facebook, X, and
What is the chicken restaurant? I'm sorry, that people should go to.
well, I built a franchise about like 25 years ago.
Yes.
Called Power Chicken.
Power Chicken.
You can Google it, Power Chicken.
Yeah.
You're gonna find some pictures of me roasting chicken, grilling chicken, and right now I'm taking care of the city, and my daughters are taking care of the restaurant. Thanks for having me. Very good. Thank you so much.
No, thanks to all you listeners. Please, if you've not already, subscribe at immunityobserver.com and on YouTube. Cheers.